Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I'm going to show y'all how to make a stretchy necklace using some of our homemade lampwork glass beads, but you can use any bead with a large hole. So tools, materials, and everything are down in the video description, and let's go ahead and get started. All of the tools and materials that we're using in this project will be linked down in the video description. I'm using my bent nose and tapered or stepped flat nose pliers. You can use your chainmail pliers of choice. We have some 16 gauge 5/16 inch EPDM rubber rings. They are linked directly to the ring board, so if you want to know what they are in millimeters, you can go look there. We have a 9x14 or 9x15 millimeter lobster claw clasp. These are stainless steel. And then we have more stainless steel 18 gauge 3/16 square rings. You can see that really sharp flash. That's some cool stuff. I like that. And these are saw cut stainless steel as well. Now this is one of the, it's a set of plain beads from our bead shop, backtoearthcreations.com. And these are like a set, so we do have some set of options available where you can get plain like this, or you can get whatever design that you like, or multiple colors. So there's all different sorts of selections that you can choose from in a full gallery of colors. And if you're interested in placing an order for custom beads, you can find those at backtoearthcreations.com/custom beads. Again, it's linked down in the video description. But if you do not have our handmade lampwork glass beads, you can use any bead that has a a hole that's large enough to be accommodating. These were made on a 3/32 inch mandrel, I do believe, though the ones here on the ends may have been with a 1/16 inch mandrel. But if you were to order a set, this is how they would show up. And we can just come in and kind of just either snip off this wire. This is like a 16 or an 18 gauge wire. I think we're going to go ahead and snip it off instead of trying to flatten it out, because it's just a bit from my scrap pile. And so now this one here, yeah, this was made with a 1/16 inch mandrel. Our beads, fortunately, are super durable. There we go. You can kind of see. So the hole may be too small. That is something that you'll want to make sure that whether you're going through your own bead stash, or if you're ordering from us, to make sure to at least get a 3/32 inch mandrel. So, but that is not the end of the world. I'll show you how to utilize those beads that do have too small of a hole to be strung up like this. But yeah, here you go. This one, you can see that's a 3/32 inch mandrel hole. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take our rubber ring, and this is easier if you use, like, we also have a 1/8 inch mandrel that you can select, and we also have a 3/16 inch mandrel, which is actually large enough to be accommodating of 2 of these rubber rings. So I'm going to try something here because I'm having difficulty getting everything threaded through. And here we have just some scrap wire, and I'm going to thread this through our rubber loop, and I just have it folded over twice to make a more robust needle. But this is going to be our needle. I'm just going to thread the ends of this through. And now something that may happen is, as we pull through, if we pull through too hard, we could just pull the whole rubber thing right on through. So I'm just going to take our needle, our little wire needle, out, and we're going to go through and do this same thing to all of the beads. So you could do this for, oh, if you wanted a bracelet or a necklace, or just whatever it is that you're making, you because really a necklace is just a very long bracelet, you know, in kind of basic construction, or that is a good way of oversimplifying it perhaps. But these rubber rings are durable, you guys. You can see how much it was pulling into that, like how much the wire was biting in, and you can see there's no splitting or anything. I'm really, really pleased with how that's coming along. So again, we're going to continue this step, and I will meet you back here whenever we have all of our beads threaded up, and we'll want to have a bunch of these connection rings open as well. So now that we have everything set up, I am going to have linked here on the screen where you can learn how to make your own wire wrapped links. And there was enough wire on, I made this out of the wire that the whole set of beads was strung on. So be sure to go and check that out if you're interested in learning how to make wire wrapped links. But for this video, we're focusing on the chainmail portion. So we have all of these kind of looped together, and whenever we open our rings, we're going to want to, let me get a little bit more light, there we go. We're going to want to come in and just open up our ring like so. We want it wide enough. I'm going to do a little wider. This stainless steel is a little, you have to be heavier handed with it than with aluminum. But you want it to be open enough that you can hook other things onto it. So I'm going to start by hooking together these two. And now whenever we close our ring, I'm going to turn the light back off. That way you can see whenever we close our ring, there may be that little gap right there. And that can be a little tricky, but to close it, we are going to push our pliers towards each other while wiggling that ring back and forth. And we want to get it nice and even, just as smooth, as good of a closure as we can. With chainmail, it's kind of just opening and closing rings, so it gives us an opportunity to really focus on making that as strong as we can, like really focusing on that skill set. So now I'm just going to attach the beads together in a gradiated manner. So, and you can do whatever order you like, but I like going from large or small to large and then to small again, because I think it hangs beautifully around the neck. And we're going to close that ring. And so with a little bit of prep work, which is easy enough that I'm able to, you know, kind of chit chat or watch a YouTube video or something while working, like while getting things pieced together. There we go. Sometimes it can be a little slick, but we got it. And you can see that stretches beautifully. But with a little bit of prep work, the jewelry itself comes together relatively quickly. And again, I could have made it easier on myself to use a softer metal than this stainless steel, but oh, I love the look and feel, and especially the weight as well of stainless steel. Now, if ever you're self-conscious of your closures or just want to hide it entirely, you can totally tuck the closure of the ring underneath the rubber. Just why not? You know, I still try to make my closures as best as I can, but I like to give the illusion of being seamless without having to do any actual soldering or welding or anything like that. I'm learning how to solder. I still don't know how to weld yet, but we'll get there one day. So just bringing that together and closing that ring. And we're going to continue this around for the full length of our jewelry. So whether it's a bracelet or necklace or what have you, I'm going to get all the beads strung together, and then I'm going to show you how I finish this off to make it wearable. Now for the largest bead here, the rubber ring kind of had a hard time getting through it all the way, just because it is such a wide bead. So you may want to, if you have more than one variety of EPDM rubber rings at your you know, in your stash in your craft room, I might have used a slightly larger rubber ring than what we did here, just to give ourselves a little bit more. This still worked, but it's a nice, the luxury of options when crafting is delightful to me. Like I live to be spoiled for choice. Like I've designed my entire craft stash around having multiple things that do the same thing, just so I can mix it up and have a slightly different jump ring for joining components together, so I can have a slightly different style of chain, you know, to use with this necklace or that, or, you know, slightly different bead caps, just whatever it is. I really like having those options there. And so just continuing around, and sometimes if it's real tricky, to get through, I'll go through the other side. Whoops. Now also, we could have attached a chainmail ring to each of these rubber rings before threading it onto the bead, but then we may have had to have opened it again. So we could have done it starting at one end and building up out that way, to kind of make it a little easier on ourselves to join the beads together. So what that would look like is, here on this bead there wouldn't be or on this ring there wouldn't be a bead on it yet. We'd be able to just whoop, put it right on, close it without that other bead being in the way, and then we would use our wire needle to thread it through the bead, and then we would do the next ring. So please do not feel like that just because this is the way I'm demonstrating how to do this, this is not the only way to do this. It's all about just getting where you're going, and so long as the piece is comfortable to wear, is holding together well, and looks more or less the way you wanted it to, then you've done it correctly. So you don't really need to sweat any of the super fine details. Perfection often gets in the way of making progress, or really for me getting anything done. So I like to let a piece be what it's going to be. I do my best, but I let it be what it's going to be. So now from here we are putting on our last bead, closing that, and this has given us a really nice, oh, what a cute chunky bracelet. I'm going to zoom back out so y'all can see. So we could go ahead and clasp that up, or I'm going to be using some of this stainless steel curb chain, and I do like to make my necklaces for in our booth whenever I'm selling them. Just I don't know who's going to be taking it home. I make my necklaces to a base length of 18 inches, but with 4 to 5 inches of extender chain on it, so it can go up to 22 or 23 inches. And then I also always bring more chain with me so that I can extend up to 30 or 36 inches in the booth. But in general, 18 to 23 inches being adjustable within that range has worked pretty well in our experience. So, and that's the kind of thing that you don't really know till you try. So we are at 8 inches right now, and so I'm going to trim off 2 5-inch sections. Oops, loud noises, I apologize. And so I'm just going to measure off my chain here, and then I'm going to snip that and snip this there, that way 2 of the same length. And we could use more jump rings, or we could just open the end loop here of our ring, or our link. I'm sorry, y'all, words are hard. And thread that on. There we go. And then, whoops, that's just my pliers sliding. That's okay. These things happen. It always startles me, but it happens. It's all right. So we're going to join that end like that, and then we'll come over here to this side, just opening that link, hooking that on, and closing our link. And that gives us just some chain for behind the neck. Now you could double up on the chain thickness if you wanted it bulkier. You could use more beads and continue it beads all the way around. This is just one of many, many ways that you could finish your own jewelry. And so this is the extender chain that I also get from the Ring Lord. It's enameled iron in a platinum tone, and I really love it because it's very accommodating to the lobster claw clasp. And it's a good kind of just change of chain so that our clients can see, oh, this is where we can, you know, hook up to shorten or extend it. Though the curb chain that I'm using, let's see if it can accommodate our current clasp. I know it can accommodate smaller clasps, which I really love being able to just hook anywhere along the chain. So that is our lobster claw clasp, and I've attached it just with another ring because I really like having something to hold on to. And so that's how well that hooks onto there. And yeah, it hooks perfectly fine onto the curb chain as well. So that's really great for if somebody wants to wear it even shorter. And this is how to make this necklace. So just because it is stretchy doesn't mean we have to necessarily utilize the stretchy element. And so it's kind of just fun because I like the way it looks too. Hey y'all, thanks so much for hanging out with me during this video. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please leave them down below. I really love hearing from y'all. If you are interested in some custom beads of your own, there's links down in the video description where you can find pre-made beads for sale, or where you can place your custom order to get exactly what you're looking for. And we make those beads in our Saturday live streams whenever it's not too hot. If it's in the dead heat of summer, we do something else that doesn't have that kiln and that torch fired up. But if you want to see your lampwork glass beads be made, that would be the way to do it. And I'd love to see y'all's work. So if you could, like, if you post online on like social media and do like hashtag craft along with Vaughn, or at Back to Earth Creations, like the little @ sign, then that'll get you onto our radar, so that not just our company but anybody who searches that hashtag will be able to see your work. And it really inspires me so much to see y'all inspire and encourage each other. So that's pretty cool stuff. But this is just so much fun, you guys. Any questions, comments, or ideas, leave them down below and we will get back to you. Thank you to our YouTube channel members, Patreon supporters, and Happy Crafter Club members who make what we do possible. If you would like to support the channel beyond just watching and hopefully enjoying yourself and keeping it crafty, you can consider one of those avenues if you'd like to craft with the same materials with us, or get 20% off coupons, or get first dibs on our shop updates, which will include our tie-dyes, by the way, you guys. So there's a whole mess of stuff, y'all. There's probably stuff popping up on the screen right now with it's like my face. I don't know which side it's on, but we have our main channel where you can go and see all the different playlists and over 800 free videos, and then my slightly different face from a few years later for our Vonster vlog channel, where we do like homesteading and like all sorts of different tomfoolery, and then also some more videos. So I will see y'all next time. Happy crafting. Bye.